Libra, if this voice reached you right now, stay here for a moment. Don't scroll past this message, and don't ignore the feeling rising in your chest, because the instant these words found you, something in your financial path already began shifting. Say it quietly to yourself, I just changed the direction of my money timeline. You may not fully realize it yet, but you recently released an energetic weight that had been pulling your life out of balance for far too long. And the universe has been waiting for this exact opening to reveal what comes next. Recently, Libra, you stepped away from a connection, habit, routine, or person that had been quietly pulling your future off course. You did not make a scene, and you did not need anyone else's approval. You simply stopped carrying what no longer respected your peace, and that silent decision carried more power than any ritual or manifestation practice you repeated over the past year. As Venus and the shifting energy surrounding June 6th and 7th, 2026 continue recalibrating your path, illusions have started falling away, helping you recognize which people, promises, and situations were never truly aligned with your growth. The people who exhausted your spirit, the responsibilities that drained your energy, and the emotional giving that left you feeling unseen, all became impossible to ignore. Somewhere deep inside yourself, your soul finally said, enough, even if nobody else heard it. That quiet moment changed everything. Libra, can you feel the difference now? The lighter energy around you, the calm settling into your thoughts, the sense that something heavy finally stopped pressing against your chest. That is what happens when balance begins returning to your life. When Libra finally releases what disrupts their inner harmony, the universe responds quickly by filling the empty space with something more aligned and far more valuable. There is an old prophecy that says the person who restores balance within themselves eventually unlocks the doorway meant for them. And Libra, that doorway has already started opening. What seemed like a small choice, a boundary, or a silent exit carried far more power than you realized. Spiritually and karmically, it shifted the direction of your future because you did not only walk away from discomfort, you stepped away from what had been slowing your opportunities, timing, expansion, and financial flow. That distance you created, whether through releasing an attachment, refusing to engage, or finally ending a draining cycle in your mind, became the opening through which abundance can now move toward you. Without fully realizing it, you stepped out of one storm and into another kind entirely, one built from momentum, opportunity, acceleration, and financial alignment. Do you feel the subtle energy moving through your hands right now? The warmth in your chest and the sudden clarity settling into your mind are signs that your intuition and self-worth are finally aligning with what you unknowingly activated. Libra, the universe is rearranging itself around your recent decision, your silence, your refusal to settle for imbalance, and your distance from what kept weighing you down. That was the turning point. You did not simply clear space around your future, you unlocked a path that had been waiting for you to choose yourself first. And for the first time in a long time, money is no longer moving away from you. It is moving toward you with cleaner energy, stronger momentum, and greater force than before. Libra, you have activated a powerful wave of abundance, an energetic return carrying every blessing that once felt delayed, redirected, or withheld from your life. Every time you protected your peace instead of feeding chaos, every time you stopped pouring energy into the wrong people, and every time you quietly chose balance over conflict, you were building karmic alignment without even realizing it. You were preparing for this exact shift. And now the atmosphere around your destiny no longer feels heavy with struggle, but charged with opportunity, movement, and long-awaited compensation, gathering around your future like a sky preparing to change. And Libra, this is not happening because of luck or coincidence. It is unfolding because your energy has finally started realigning with what was always meant for you. If you are still listening to this message right now, If something inside you refused to click away, then hear this clearly. You are not ordinary, and the timeline opening around you was not created for everyone. Comment if you feel this shift moving through you. Like this video to anchor the energy, share it to expand the blessing, and quietly tell yourself, I am ready for what is meant for me. Because Libra, the abundance you have been waiting for is finally beginning to move toward you. Take a breath for a moment, because what I'm about to tell you goes deeper than motivation or symbolism. The energy surrounding June 6th and 7th, 2026, feels as though the sky itself has shifted to rebalance your future. You did not simply remove an obstacle from your life. The planets have started rearranging into a rare formation that opens a financial doorway, appearing only once every 12 years. And Libra, that doorway is beginning to open around you now. Venus, your ruling planet, has been moving through a powerful recalibration, exposing every imbalance that once clouded your sense of value and financial clarity. Every relationship, habit, and belief that slowly pulled you away from your worth is becoming impossible to ignore. This energy is not only revealing truth, it is exposing what has quietly drained your peace, focus, and ability to fully receive abundance. And Libra, you finally recognized it. You finally saw the patterns and invisible weight that kept tipping the scales of your future in the wrong direction. The moment your spirit accepted that truth, something karmic started breaking apart. Now combine that with Pluto, the planet tied to transformation and karmic renewal, standing opposite the moon, the force connected to emotional cycles and inner security. This alignment works like a spiritual reset, clearing old patterns of scarcity, guilt, and financial fear that may have followed you for years. Pluto opposite the moon is not a minor transit. It marks the closing of a long karmic imbalance around money and self-worth. And Libra, you are stepping out of that cycle now. At the same time, Jupiter, the planet connected to expansion and unexpected blessings, is forming a rare supportive alignment with your energy. This is more than ordinary luck. It feels as though the universe is placing momentum behind your choices and quietly saying, there is more waiting for you. Jupiter aligned with Libra carries the energy of sudden financial openings, recognition, new income paths, and opportunities arriving faster than expected. After a long period of resistance, life itself is beginning to move in your favor. And the movement does not stop there. The nodes of fate, the energetic compass guiding your soul's direction, have started activating a new Libra timeline connected to your next 12-year prosperity cycle, one that will not return until 2037. This is why the atmosphere around you feels different lately. Your thoughts feel sharper, your instincts stronger, and your inner voice more difficult to ignore. Recently, the moon has been heightening your awareness in undeniable ways, creating moments where clarity arrives instantly, and you suddenly know what deserves your energy and what no longer does. That is not random, that is alignment. Your inner balance is becoming the compass, guiding you toward financial expansion and away from people, situations, and environments rooted in fear or limitation. You are being redirected into a different energetic current where abundance flows with greater ease because you are no longer fighting against your own worth. When Libra finally steps away from what drains their spirit, money does not move slowly. It starts rushing toward the spaces that have finally been cleared for it. The combined force of Venus, Pluto, and these shifting karmic alignments is clearing years of emotional residue and restoring balance to your financial path. It is resetting your motivation, ambition, career direction, and relationship with prosperity itself. The energy around you is no longer pulling you toward karmic burdens. It is beginning to guide you toward karmic reward. Libra, have you noticed that strange feeling lately, like something unseen is quietly shifting behind the scenes of your life? It almost feels as though opportunities are beginning to circle around you, waiting for the right moment to arrive. A steadier, clearer version of you is stepping forward now, harder to pull out of balance than before. That is the effect of this rare alignment surrounding June 6th and 7th, 2026, where Venus, Jupiter, Pluto, and your karmic path are all converging into a financial opening that will not appear again until 2037. This is your once-in-12 years wealth gateway, and Libra, you are standing directly in front of it. If you move through this moment consciously, you accelerate the future already trying to reach you. But if you return to old patterns, ignore the signs, or continue choosing environments that drain your worth, you delay blessings already moving toward you now. And honestly, if you leave this video before hearing the full message, you are walking away from one of the strongest abundance activations of your life. So stay here. Comment to anchor your timeline, like this video to claim the energy, and share it to strengthen the future version of yourself. Then quietly tell the universe, I choose the abundance aligned with me. Because Libra, this doorway is open now, but it will not stay open forever, and the next cycle will not return until 2037. Libra, this is the part where many people suddenly realize the message has been describing exactly what they recently experienced. You did not simply make a random change. You cleared emotional and spiritual weight that had been quietly reshaping your financial path for far too long. Whether you fully realized it or not, you removed someone or something that had been blocking your growth, your peace, and your ability to fully receive. Recently, you walked away from someone who knew how to take from you, but rarely gave back the same care, support, or energy in return. They drained your time, your emotional strength, your optimism, and quietly affected your financial energy too. Libra, your soul finally stopped negotiating with imbalance. That quiet decision created space for abundance to begin moving toward you again. You also distanced yourself from an environment, routine, workplace, social circle, or even an online space that constantly exhausted you while offering almost nothing back. You kept showing up with creativity, patience, emotional labor, and effort while receiving the bare minimum in return. The universe watched you carry uneven energy for too long, and eventually something inside you chose differently. Your silent exit became an act of liberation. And then another shift happened, one that looked small on the surface but changed everything energetically. You broke your cycle of hesitation, the habit of delaying decisions, overthinking, and waiting too long before opportunities disappeared, finally lost its hold on you. This time, you acted, and that action opened a path that money, momentum, and opportunity can finally move through. You did not simply move forward, Libra. You broke a karmic pattern tied to fear and indecision, and the spiritual world responds quickly when someone chooses courage over comfort. For some of you, this release became even more personal because you cut energetic ties with someone whose presence constantly pulled you into guilt, confusion, self-doubt, or emotional imbalance. Those states weaken abundance because they disconnect you from your own value. When Libra finally detaches from what keeps disrupting their peace, the energetic cord breaks completely and abundance rushes back into the space imbalance once occupied. And maybe the most powerful shift of all is this. You stopped asking others for permission to become who you were meant to be. You stopped over-explaining yourself and shrinking your dreams just to keep other people comfortable. You reclaimed your authority over your own life. And spiritually, reclaiming your power changes your relationship with money because abundance naturally follows self-worth, confidence, and the people who no longer apologize for taking up space. Libra, you also released an old belief about yourself, something you carried for years because it once felt safe, familiar, and emotionally comfortable, even though it no longer matched the direction your life was trying to move toward. The moment you loosened your grip on that outdated version of yourself, you created space for a completely different financial future to begin forming around you. A new opportunity, a new purpose, and a path connected to greater abundance quietly started opening in the background. You made room for something larger by finally allowing the balance in your life to return. And along with that release, you also let go of a fear that had been quietly limiting your ability to receive prosperity. Maybe it was fear of success, fear of disappointing others, fear of responsibility, or fear of repeating old mistakes that once left emotional scars behind. But Libra, that fear began falling away from you like something you had finally outgrown, and the universe recognized the shift immediately, because fear blocks abundance long before money has the chance to arrive. The moment fear loosened its hold, opportunities started finding their way back to you. You also became aware of someone who had been slowing your growth in quieter ways, not through conflict, but through doubt, limitation, subtle discouragement, or energy that kept pulling you backward whenever you tried to move forward. Instead of fighting to prove yourself, you chose distance. Calmly, and at exactly the right time, you stepped away from what no longer respected your balance. That decision carried more power than you realized. What happened in that moment was not small, Libra. It was the point where a long, karmic cycle tied to scarcity and emotional imbalance finally began breaking apart. You did not simply release a habit or a person. Spiritually, you removed the weight standing between you and the future trying to reach you. That is why everything around you now feels as though it is beginning to shift. This is why opportunities are starting to appear. This is why financial momentum can finally move toward you again, because you created room for it to enter. And now the universe is preparing to fill every space that imbalance once occupied. If you are still listening to this message, if your chest feels warmer and your intuition more awake while hearing these words, then anchor your new timeline now. Comment, "I choose the abundance aligned with me," to activate your wealth frequency. Like this video to lock the energy into place and share it to strengthen the future unfolding around you, because Libra, you did not just remove something from your life, you unlocked a completely different path forward. Libra, now we move into the signs, the unmistakable signals that the universe has already started redirecting financial momentum toward you. As you hear them, you will recognize how quietly these shifts have already been appearing around you, almost as though life itself has been preparing you for what comes next. One of the strongest signs is the sudden appearance of repeating numbers like 888, 818, or 711. These patterns are not coincidences. They are energetic confirmations that your timeline is beginning to recalibrate toward expansion and abundance before the physical results fully arrive. And Libra, the numbers have already begun speaking to you. Another sign is the way unexpected opportunities have quietly started appearing in small forms. A random message, a brief conversation, an invitation, or a tiny opening that seems insignificant at first glance. Spiritually, these moments are previews of something larger building behind the scenes, like the first shift in the wind before the atmosphere fully changes. And if you have been noticing these subtle openings lately, it means the momentum moving toward you is getting closer. You may have also noticed that someone who once underestimated you suddenly acts differently around you now. Their tone softens, their confidence shifts, and their energy becomes more careful in your presence. That change is not really about them. It reflects the way your own energy has started rising into greater balance and self-respect. When Libra finally stops shrinking themselves to make others comfortable, people can feel the shift before a single word is spoken. And then there are your dreams. Dreams filled with open skies, shifting air, floating light, windows opening, or moments where you move effortlessly toward somewhere brighter without resistance. Venus often communicates through symbols of harmony, beauty, and restored balance. And when those images begin repeating in your dreams, it is a sign that your energy is reconnecting with the natural flow of abundance. When symbols of open skies, shifting light, and effortless movement begin appearing repeatedly in your dreams, they carry an important message. Your energy is reconnecting with the natural flow of abundance again. These dreams reflect movement, restoration, and prosperity, slowly finding its way back toward the life it was always meant to reach. Libra, your dreams are becoming confirmation that something around your future is quietly rebalancing itself. The signs have already started appearing before the physical results fully arrive. You may have also noticed how much lighter you feel lately. A calmer mind, a softer chest, a different energy moving through your body that feels difficult to explain but impossible to ignore. That lightness is not random. It happens when old scarcity patterns, emotional exhaustion, inherited fears, and invisible pressure finally begin leaving your spirit. Before blessings arrive, the soul usually feels the release first, and Libra, that is exactly the stage you are standing in now. And something else has been happening too. New ideas have started arriving, suddenly, clearly, and with unusual precision. Financial ideas, creative solutions, opportunities, or decisions that seem to appear effortlessly at exactly the right moment. This is not your imagination running ahead of you. This is alignment. During Jupiter's expansion energy, Libra's insights often carry real purpose and long-term potential. So pay attention, because these thoughts are trying to guide you towards something larger. Another sign is the way divine timing has quietly started unfolding around you. You keep meeting the right people unexpectedly, crossing paths with someone who offers support, clarity, opportunity, or a perspective that unlocks something important inside you. Sometimes the exact connection you need appears before you even realize what has been missing. These are karmic alignment connections, and when Libra moves closer to a major abundance shift, destiny has a way of placing the right souls directly into their path. You may have also noticed old opportunities beginning to return. A project, a client, an unfinished idea, an invitation, or even money you thought was gone suddenly starts finding its way back to you in unexpected ways. This is karmic restoration. It is the universe preparing to return value for everything you once gave without receiving equal energy in return. Even your body has been responding to these changes through warmth in your chest, tingling sensations, sudden waves of energy, or moments where your body reacts before your mind fully understands why. There is an old prophecy that says the soul who restores balance within themselves eventually attracts prosperity when the timing finally shifts in their favor. Libra, this message points directly toward the season you are entering now. And if these words feel familiar somewhere deep inside you, then anchor your timeline. Like this video to lock the energy into place, share it to strengthen the blessing moving toward you, and comment, "I choose the abundance aligned with me," to activate the momentum already building around your future. Because Libra, the signs are already here, and the shift you have been sensing is getting closer. Now that you have started recognizing the signals and noticing the atmosphere around your future changing, it is time to understand the deeper truth behind why this moment found you. Listen carefully and let these words settle into the quietest part of your intuition. In Buddhist philosophy, there is a teaching that says, when even one heavy thought is released, blessings begin returning to your life. Libra, you have been releasing far more than thoughts lately. You have been letting go of pain, emotional weight, impossible expectations, and people who no longer belong in your future. Every release created more space for grace to return, and now that grace is beginning to reappear as abundance. Libra is deeply connected to balance, harmony, and the ability to sense when something no longer aligns with the truth of your spirit. You do not attract prosperity through force alone. You draw it closer through sincerity, emotional intelligence, fairness, and the quiet confidence that comes from finally recognizing your own worth. There is something about your energy that senses opportunities before they fully arrive, And because of that, the universe trusts you with blessings that require maturity, balance, and wisdom to carry well. You did not simply survive difficult seasons, you moved through a deep karmic recalibration that tested your patience, your resilience, your boundaries, and your ability to stop sacrificing yourself just to keep peace around everyone else. Every hardship carried purpose beneath it. It strengthened your self-respect, sharpened your awareness, and cleared emotional patterns that had blocked your future for far too long. Libra, the cycle of imbalance you once carried is finally beginning to close. That debt has already been paid through every lesson, heartbreak, silence, and relationship you had to release along the way. What stands before you now is not punishment, but restoration. There is an old prophecy that says the soul who restores balance within themselves eventually unlocks the abundance they were once too burdened to receive. Libra, the emotional weight you recently released became the final shift that opened this next chapter of your life. The universe is responding to you because your intentions are genuine and your spirit has learned wisdom without becoming bitter. You naturally support, heal, and restore rather than manipulate or control. That is why this moment feels larger than ordinary luck. What is moving toward you now feels more like karmic repayment and long-delayed abundance finally reaching the place it belongs. But you also need to understand that this opening will not stay available forever. Around June 6th and 7th, 2026, Libra enters a 7-day window where aligned choices create acceleration and a single decision can reshape the direction of your future. If you act during these 7 days, make the call, accept the opportunity, begin the idea, or finally take the first step, you move directly into the next stage of your prosperity cycle. But if hesitation returns, the opening slowly begins narrowing again. Libra, this is your turning point. And if you are still listening right now, if your intuition feels stronger and your body reacts to these words like it already recognizes the truth inside them, then understand this clearly. You were guided toward this moment for a reason. Anchor this timeline by commenting to lock the energy into place. Like this video to strengthen the frequency around your future. Share it to expand the blessing already moving toward you, and quietly tell yourself, I am ready for what is aligned with me. And remember this final truth, Libra. The shift you have been sensing is real. The abundance moving toward you is real. Do not return to the patterns that once kept your life out of balance. Do not doubt yourself now, and do not delay.